Great people, welcome to NameTech channel. My name is Nehemiah and I'm very happy to have you on board. I think this is lesson 7 on Matplotlib and we are going to talk about the subplot. But then before we begin, please take a minute, subscribe, like and share the video to your friends. And to the returning subscribers, I really appreciate you very much for your support. And guys, I always like this video so that YouTube may recommend it to very many viewers and the channel will grow very fast. And I will reach very many people like you. So guys, basically with the subplot function you can draw multiple plots on one figure. Now guys, basically without much ado, let me just show you. Remember, if you've been following this series, I think you have a clue on how to plot the Matplotlib graphs. So what I do here, let me just go straight away and begin coding. So first of all, we are going to import Matplotlib dot pyplot. Pyplot is an alias plt, and then also we are gonna do let's import the numpy. Remember, Matplotlib works underneath numpy, so let's say import numpy. Numpy is np alias, and then also we are going to let me define the first plot. Perhaps let me add in a comment. I just type in a hash, should be a hash. Then I here, let's say this is just a comment. It doesn't have any effect in our code, just to help us understand that this one was a plot 1. Then I here, first of all, let me create variables, perhaps x. Then let me pass in what numpy array np dot array, and then we are gonna do this. Let's pass in a 0, perhaps some value 0, 1, 2, then a 3. This should be 3, right? And then also for the y-axis, y, let me assign it to a numpy array. Then we are gonna pass in this list. Perhaps let me say 3, and let me say 3, and then also let me say 3. Then also let me say perhaps something like you can give it any value, like 8, like 1, also like something like a 10. So let's say this is the variables, actually the values for the plot 1. Then now to create the subplot, we are gonna say plt dot, so it is plt dot subplot, and then we are going to pass in these values. So the first one, let me say so basically it shouldn't be inside the squared brackets, and then here let me say 1, then 2, and then 1. So basically this is the first plot, and then to plot it, we're gonna say plt dot plot, and then we are plotting x and y. We are passing x, the values of x and y, should be x and y. Now this is the function for plot 1. Now for plot 2, let me add in first of all a comment, and then let me say plot 2, and then in this plot 2, I'm gonna say, let me create the variables. Perhaps let me just copy these ones, but then I'm gonna just change some values, and then let me change the values. Perhaps here let me change it to, or let it be the way it is, but then here the second one, let me change it to perhaps 10, 20, 30, and 40. Remember, they must tally. If the x-axis has 4 values, the y-axis must also have the same number of values, otherwise you'll have an error. Then now to plot the subplot, to create the subplot, you're going to use the plt dot subplot, and then in this one we are going to pass in perhaps the first one was 1, 2, 1. Now this one, let me say 1, 2, 3. Basically in this way we are defining the the display, its display. So what we do to create the subplot for this one, let's use the same function plt dot dot plot, and then we are plotting the values of x and y. So x is our x-axis, y is our y-axis. Then now to visualize all of these codes, we are going to use this function plt dot show a function. And then guys, I said that if it's your first time, ensure that you have a compiler, basically the GUI compiler for Matplotlib. But then I advise you to use Anaconda because it usually comes with those packages. You don't have to install them, manually. They usually come with them. So if you don't have, you can install like a TK Inda. If you don't want to use Anaconda, just download or install a TK Inda, compiler for Matplotlib. Then once you are set, then let's run and see. It seems there's an error somewhere. So guys, basically here it should be 2 and then 2. Sorry, it should be 2 and 2 for it to work because we are having only 2 figures. So guys, perhaps let me talk about these stuffs in a few. You saw when we created 3, when we used 3 here, we had an issue there. So let me talk about it in a few. Now guys, basically this is a subplot, a function. It takes 3 arguments. These are first one, second, and then there's a third arguments. Now the layout is organized in rows and columns, which are represented by the first and the second argument. This first and second argument. Now this one defines the layout. And then now the third argument represents the index of the current plot. Like guys, basically you can see we only have 2 plots. So if we say 3 here, basically we will be using a wrong index because we have basically 2 plots, basically 3. That's why you see when I add in 3, it will give us an error because basically we have two plots. So guys, basically for example, if you want a figure with the two rows and 1 column, meaning that the first 2 plots will be displayed on top of other instead of side by side. We can write the syntax to look like this. Let me show you. So in this one, let me delete. If you want to be displayed vertically, actually the plots to be on top of each other, we are going to use, perhaps let me say 2, but then in 1 column, and then also this is index 1. Remember, index remain the way it is. And then also for the second one, let's say what? Let's say 2 in 1 column, and then this is index 2. So what we do, let me run, and then guys, basically you can see it is displayed in this format. So guys, basically this is how you can plot on top of each other. We can draw as many plots as you like. Just describe the number of rows, columns, and the index of the plot. Now, guys, basically, perhaps if you want to draw, or let me just show you guys how to draw perhaps 3. Let me just show you how to draw 3. In that case, let me just copy. And then here let me paste. And then here let me change to 3. Should I change the values? For values, perhaps let me change these ones. And then let me use here perhaps values like 3, 8, 1. Then you can use your values. And then here the layout, let's change it to something else, like a 2. Let me say 3, but this is index number 3. Or guys, let me change. Oh guys, I forgot to change these other ones. So let me change here to. Let me change it here to perhaps 2. Then here it should be 3, 2, 3, 1. And then what else? Here also should be 2, then 3, because we want 3 columns. Then what I do, let me try to run again. And then guys, basically you can see it's now very functional. We have 3 columns. Remember this third index, these are second index defines the number of columns. And then guys, basically that's how you can create several if you want. But then this is just an example. You can try perhaps with 6, 5, 8, and so forth. And then guys, let me now show you how to add the title. How to add title to each plot with the title function. Now guys, basically in that case, we are going to use a function for title. And then let's begin perhaps in this first one. Let me create a function called plt.title. And then in its tuple, we're going to pass in perhaps let me call it sales. And then what else? Let me just copy. And then here I'll change it and give it. Let me first of all paste it to all other functions here. Here I'll change it and I give it perhaps. Here let me give it something like income. And then the other one perhaps I can give it what. Let me say let me give it any, or let it be the way it is. It doesn't matter. And then what you do, let me try to run. Let me run and see if it will work. You can see there's a sales income and then a sales. So this is how you can give it the title. Also, you can create the super title. You can add a title to the entire figure with the subtitle function. Now, if you want to just create the main title actually to display on top of the others, you can add this here at the bottom. Let's say plt, sorry, should be plt dot super title, subtitle like this. Then we are gonna say perhaps let me call it my shop. And then what I do, let's run and see if it will work. And then guys, you can see basically here at the top we have the super title, which is displayed on top of the others. So guys, basically this is all about the Matplotlib subplot that I wanted to show you in this tutorial, and I think you've gained something. Please now subscribe, like, and share the video to your friends. Until next time, this is Nehemiah. Goodbye.